The problem is between the military regime of West Pakistan and the people and the accepted elected representatives of the people of Bangladesh.
कि बलूचिस्तान जो आज़ाद था उसे वापस उसकी आज़ादी दी जाए, पाकिस्तानी सारी फोर्सेस बलूचिस्तान से बाहर निकले और जो उन्होंने कत्लेआम किया है बलूचों का उसका जवाब दे पाकिस्तान।
Although Ukraine remains the hottest topic in the world, this doesn't mean other conflict zones on the planet are frozen. Big players on the international stage are rubbing their hands, thinking about their future geographical boundaries and true independence. I'm not just talking about the Arab world. Those guys are forever in sectarian Sunni and Shia conflict. The region is smoldering as usual. But what I'm thinking about is India and Pakistan. The situation in those two countries are terrible, and the situation will only get worse, especially for Pakistan. Sectarianism in India is rife. Hindus and Muslims are at each other's throats, quite literally. If you check the horrible reports in Rajasthan, Indian authorities accuse Pakistan of radicalizing Indian Muslims. Then there's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who's promoting aggressive Hindu nationalism, which isn't much different from Ukrainian nationalism. Modi has a lot of experience in playing on the enmity of Hindus and Muslims. After all, when he was Chief Minister of Gujarat prior to his post as Prime Minister of India, India saw deadly riots in the state of Gujarat when Modi was ruling out there.
Say that you regret the killings that happened. Why can't you say that maybe the government should have done more to protect the Muslims?
What I have to say, I have said at that time, and you can find out my statements.
Just say it again.
Not necessary. I have to talk about the in 2007 everything. What you want to talk?
But by not saying it again, by not letting people hear the message repeatedly, you're allowing an image that is contrary to the interest of Gujarat to continue. It's in your hands to change it.
I'll have to rest.
But all this chaos in India is not just about Hindus and Muslims in India. The provocative campaign of the BJP, the Bharatiya Janata Party, is mainly targeted at Pakistan, because by radicalizing Muslims in India through aggressive Hindu nationalism and making Hindus and Muslims divide further, Modi can stand up one day and drum up support from Indians to conduct its very own special operations against Muslim majority Pakistan. Considering how things are panning out, India is waiting for the right moment to conduct this special operation in Pakistan, and they'll most probably justify it by saying it's a de-radicalization campaign to go after militant groups in Pakistan. In Pakistan itself, things aren't going too well. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's team can't cope with the political instability out there, neither with the separatists of the southwestern province of Balochistan, who want their own independent state, nor with the supporters of the former Prime Minister Imran Khan, who's a sort of a Donald Trump. The supporters of Imran Khan are on strike throughout the country. Then there's the Pakistani wing of the Taliban, commonly known as the TTP, Tehreek-e-Pakistan. A truce with TTP has barely begun and is on the verge of collapse due to the fact that the government of Shehbaz Sharif has not fulfilled its part of the deal. Then there's natural disasters which continue to torment the country. The other day, several areas went underwater in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Gilgit-Baltistan due to heavy rain. And finally, the International Monetary Fund has denied Pakistan a much-needed $6 billion loan, although there's now an agreement in place to provide a $1.2 billion loan package, but only if Pakistan accepts the demands set by the IMF. China is ready to help Pakistan with money. However, if China does step into the picture to help Pakistan, then this will lead to direct conflict with India. One of the demands that the IMF put forward to Pakistan was to renegotiate the terms of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, also known as CPEC agreement, which in turn is an important element in the One Belt, One Road project initiated by China. China is ready to provide Pakistan assistance, and according to a number of reports, apparently there's $60 billion set aside by the Chinese to loan to the Pakistani government. And since Pakistan is clearly unable to return such an amount within an acceptable time frame, China, according to a number of reports, is already thinking about payment in kind. More precisely, part of the territory of the border province of Gilgit-Baltistan, which is currently under the control of Pakistan, China is seeking to lease it. Yes, my folks, this of course is not about annexation, but the Chinese are looking for a long-term lease from Pakistan over Gilgit-Baltistan. And this is where the problem begins. The fact is that the region itself is disputed between Pakistan and India. Both India and Pakistan claim Gilgit-Baltistan, like neighbouring Jammu and Kashmir. In addition, there's also Aksai Chin, the sovereignty over which India disputes already with China itself. And if that weren't enough, Gilgit-Baltistan borders not just China, but China's relatively stable Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, where local Muslim separatists are active from time to time. Then there's Afghan Badakhshan, which looms over it from the northwest, where fighting is now going on between the Taliban and the anti-Taliban coalition of Ahmed Massoud. In short, Chinese interest is in an extremely explosive situation. If the deal on the lease of the territory over Gilgit-Baltistan is really signed, then not only India will rub its hands, but the United States too. The United States will of course back India in this game and use the majority Shia population of Gilgit-Baltistan to fight Pakistan and China. If you aren't aware, sectarianism and enmity between Shias and Sunnis is rife, not just in Pakistan, but also in India, so it's very easy to get those two sects to fight. It's difficult to predict how things will pan out in the immediate future. You'll have to watch how far Pakistan goes. The IMF has already stated Pakistan will not be allowed any further loan extensions by July 2023. The United States and India are watching Pakistan sink. Disintegration is a matter of time. They don't just want to redraw borders in the region, but also secure Pakistan's nuclear weapons. Hindu groups are already promoting prophecies of a final battle with Pakistan by 2025. Supposedly, the Bhavishya Malika, a Hindu religious book, speaks about this final battle with Pakistan. The Pakistanis will attack the Ram temple, and then there'll be a war situation between those two countries in the region of Kashmir. My dear friends, people need to wake up. The Pakistani elite live in a state of denial, and even the religious ones as well, dreaming of Ghazwa-e-Hind, a great battle with India, where they'll win and Jesus, peace be upon him, will descend to save them all. Collectively, the religious fanatics and the Pakistani elite believe that the status quo in which they live in today is fine and it's permanent, but it's not. The bubble is bursting and the result will not be pretty.